Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's your brother Imran ibn Mansour aka Dawah man, alongside the Donny, Guled and the young Jimmy, Sa'ad ibn Mansour. Inshallah, we're back for another episode of Chilling with the Axe. So this week's episode is going to be epic, inshallah. It's discussing a problem that's very common in our communities. When you want to marry someone from a different race, different tribe, different village, or in some of our cultures, a different street. But your parents are telling you, no, you have to marry someone from the same block, or the same village, or the same culture, inshallah. So we're going to go through some key things and try to answer your questions at the end, inshallah. Before we proceed, where we humbly ask and request for you to click the subscribe button. Thank you.
So the first question is, can a sister forget her parents and pursue the individual that she wants to marry?
Okay. So this is obviously a common thing that everyone's saying on the question. Sisters are saying, no, can I bond my parents if I want to marry someone from a different race or culture? Yeah? Okay. So sisters, you need to understand one thing as a starting point that you guys really need to get through to your heads, which is that a sister cannot get married without her wali. I'll define what wali is for you in a second, but you cannot get married unless you have a wali that marries you off. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha said, the Prophet said, she narrated that the Prophet said, anyone who gets married without a wali, that nikah is batil, meaning it's false. It's false. Three times the Prophet mentioned that, yeah? So it's very, very serious. Now what is a wali? A wali is your guardian, who by default takes the position of wali in your life. It is your father. It is your Muslim father. Now I know there are some revert sisters that are going to say, well, I don't have a father, and maybe their father's not Muslim. You find someone serious in the community. When I say serious, I don't mean like little brother here and there that's doing a little bit of da'wah table work and da-da-da. No, I mean we're talking like an uncle. We're talking like imam. One of the uncles, the board of trustees from the masjid or something like that. We're talking someone who's serious, who's respected in the community. People respect him and fear him. Because this man is going to take the place of your dad. So when you go for a meeting with a brother, he's going to be there. He's not going to play you around. That brother who's sitting there is going to look at this man and fear mistreating you. Because this man's going to take you up seriously with him. That man has to play the role of your father. And of course, if you're a Muslim sister and your father is, for example, passed away or something of that nature, then of course it moves on to your brother and your next of kin. But that's the key. So you can't bun your parents and get married to whoever you want just because they're disagreeing with the race that you want to marry. Question I want to ask you: are they wrong? Is it haram? Is it wrong for them to deny you to get married to this person on the basis of that person's color of skin or race? Hell yeah, that is wrong. That is haram. It's not permissible in our religion. It's not permissible at all. That's your only reason. The person's got good character, manners, religion. But they're insisting, no, he is not from our tribe. He's not from our country. He's this, he's that. He's this color, he's that color. Their parents are wrong there. And even then, sometimes there may be little wisdoms behind, they don't want, certain things. But that's a different topic. But generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, it's wrong. But it's also wrong for you to now bond them and get married. Then nikah will not be valid. Don't worry, we're going to add on to this, inshallah ta'ala. But, I remember I came across, I told you guys, there was a brother and a sister. I was in the high street. Days we had the center, yeah. And this brother and sister, walk up to me. And they look like in that honeymoon stage, innit? They look bare, hold their hands and them things there. And the sister comes up to me and says, Brother Imran, we watch your videos and mashallah. And they're like, we recently got married. Please make dua for us. His parents didn't accept me or something. Someone's parents didn't accept. or her parents didn't accept or something. She said, and basically, just make dua. And basically, it came out that they got married without a wali, without the girl's wali. Remember, the man doesn't need a wali, the girl needs a wali, yeah? So it was one of them ones where, I have to tell them, innit? I was like, oh, sister, basically, your nikah is invalid. You have a wali? Yeah, you're haram for each other. So you might want to stop holding hands. You know what it was? Obviously, I said it in a bit more of a sensitive way. And I told them, and I said, listen, holler at me. Later on tonight, I gave them a detail. I said, look, we'll try and perform the nikah properly. Get in touch with family, everything. Try to do it properly. But they never got back in touch with me. So, whatever. And I know that some people might tell you, oh, this sheikh said you can do it though. This sheikh said you can get married without a wali. I told you, the Prophet said you can't. Okay? And we were told in the Quran, وَاتَّبِعُوا مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكُم مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا مِن دُونِهِ أَوْلِيَاءَ. Follow that which came down from who? From Allah and His Messenger. What was revealed from Allah and His Messenger ﷺ. Don't follow, even Allah said, don't follow the friends of Allah. Awliya, like scholars. If they go against what came down. Yeah. So I hope that answers the question, inshallah. That sisters cannot, in and within itself, just ban their parents. There are ways we could talk to them, but you can't just say, parents, ban you. Have a good day. Even though what they're doing is wrong.
So Sad, I want to ask you then, what about the brother? Can he ban his family?
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah amma ba'd. So in regards to can the brother just ban his parents when it comes to marrying someone of their choice and the parents disagree? Again, it's not a matter of whether you can or you can't. It's just something that you need to put into perspective, which is more of a reality, which is what's more important to you? Your parents hating you and not wanting to ever have anything to do with you and your wife because you chose someone that they disagreed with, or you being with the one that you love, for the rest of your life? Like, what's more important to you? Your parents or a girl that you think that she's she's the one, she's the one that's going to be that woman for you? What's more important? Because at the end of the day, it's a very sad reality, because I've seen from many other people, they get married, without the parents' consent, or without them even knowing, and the children, they have children, and the children, they don't have any grandparents to look up to, they don't have anybody, and it has an effect on the children. So you have to really look at, what's your relationship going to be? Do you want your relationship to break with your parents, or do you want that relationship to stay there and you don't mind looking for somebody else? Because like the saying is, there's plenty of fish in the sea, right? You'll always find someone eventually. So it's just a matter about what do you really want in life? Do you want your parents to always be there with you and you want their love and their dua, or do you want their curse and their hatred towards you? So me personally, if that was the case and my parents, they I found a girl and they didn't want me to marry her, even though it was for reasons which are stupid, and like, the Prophet Imran, he said, it's haram upon them to stop you from marrying them, I'd still go with them and be like, fine, I won't marry. Why? Because I know it's going to cause a problem between me and them, and at the end of the day, if they make dua against me, Allah is peak. It's proper peak, innit? But yeah, so I would advise brothers, if you ever get into that situation, if you've tried your hardest to try to convince your parents and, you've got someone involved to try and help you and they're still not listening, then maybe it's better for you guys to back off and pursue someone else, inshallah ta'ala.
Yeah, just to kind of like put things into a little bit more perspective, yeah? And don't worry, there's always an exception, which I know everyone's waiting for in it. We're going to come to that in the end, inshallah, the exceptional case, yeah. But for now, just listen to what we're saying. In our Sharia, we have a concept, we have a principle, which is that pushing away the harm, it has more weight, it has more preference than bringing good. Let me give you an example. You have a harm that your parents are going to be sad with you. They're going to be upset with you. Family ties are going to be cut. They may never speak to you again. Like he said, there's problems. sometimes these issues occur, black magic occurs. Some of our parents, they are really, they're quite ignorant when it comes to these things. They're cultural. First thing they're gonna do is they don't even know this black magic. They're gonna call up some guy in Pakistan or Bangladesh or wherever country they're from, and they're gonna say, "Yo, some family member's gonna say, call this person who'll make dua for you and make sure your kid listens to you." So they'll call out this person. The guy will say, "Give me £50, give me £100, and I'll do it for you." But what they don't realize, that's black magic. Black magic, and because of that, black magic occurs. So I'm saying you got a whole bunch of problems that could be occurring. You got a whole bunch of harms that could be occurring by going against your parents. So that's a harm. That's a harm. But then you have a good, which is you're going to marry a sister who you believe is righteous. Yo, she's righteous. And you find her attractive. And mashallah, she could be the mother of your kids. And it's good. It's good. You've got a good, you've got a harm. Which one weighs heavier? Which one should we give preference to? In our Sharia, we give preference to pushing away the harm than bringing good. In fact, a person who's not bringing any harm is actually better than a person who's not doing any good. He's neutral. He's not doing no good. He's not doing no harm. He is better than a person who's bringing harm. Do you see? And the reason for that is you have the hadith in Sahihain, Bukhari and Muslim, in which the Prophet ﷺ said, the wordings in Muslim, if I prohibit you from something, remember prohibition, a prohibition, say no, you can't do zina, you can't listen to music, that is stopping a harm, right? So if the Prophet said, if I prohibit you something, don't do it. Don't do it. But the Prophet said, if I command you something, do it to the best of your ability. So when you were commanded to do something, the command was connected to ability. Pray standing up, for example. If you can't pray standing up, you pray sitting down, right? Give zakat. If you can't give zakat, then you don't have to. It's connected to your ability. You don't have the money, right? So bringing the good it depends on your ability. But this is haram. Stay away from it. There's no ability there. Because pushing away harm takes precedence over bringing good. So I would say, brothers and sisters, that harm that's going to come your way compared to the good that's going to come your way. You're going to bring good your way, but you're going to bring harm as well. Like you already got problems on your own turf. You're going to bring good. Like that good is only going to, it's not going to be that calm, nice, blissful honeymoon period. Family members cutting you up, phone. It's all problems, wallahi, to be honest, It's a myth. And also the second thing that I just wanted to say upon that issue is your parents are saying you cannot marry this person because of culture. That's a wrong reason, right? That's a baseless reason for them to say you can't marry. My question to you now is, do you have a baseless reason for why you do want to marry that person? They have no real reason to say you can't marry. Do you have any real reason to say, yeah, you want to marry? Because in our religion, we're told to marry for what reason? A woman is married for what? Her religion. Primarily her religion. And also when you got a woman who's got religion and you want to add something else, then it's also good. She's attractive. But religion is the key. For the women, when they want to marry a man, you look for religion and you look for manners, character. These are the two things you look for. Now, if I ask you, sister, why do you want to marry this brother so bad? Your parents are saying you can't marry him because he's from a different village. I'm saying that's wrong, that's baseless. Why do you want to marry him? Do you have what you call a shari'i reason? Do you have a religious reason why you want to marry him? Is it because you're amazed by his manners, his modesty, his shyness, his passion to study, seek knowledge? And reality is no. The reason why you want to marry that person is because you know him, he's been there for you through the hardest times, which is all haram in a sense. So if you have a problem at home, you call him up at 1 a.m. in the morning, or the brother calls his girlfriend up at 1 a.m. in the morning, and that's not permissible in our religion. That's what you call a haram relationship. And you could say, well, he gave me da'wah, she gave me da'wah, but I'm saying you're in a haram relationship. So how religious can that person really be? A lot of people say this, the reason I want to marry the sister is because my girlfriend gave me da'wah. And I'm like, yo, like how religious can she be? Like, she's talking to you. You're having phone sex, if we're being real. Like, it's the kind of, things I know, okay, she's trying, she's on her own journey, no doubt. But the point is that religion really can't be the key thing. There's got to be something else there, deeper, and that's why you want to be with her. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say, just to summarize what I just said now, pushing away the harm takes precedence over bringing the good, number one. Number two, what's the real reason you want to marry her anyway? Because if you want to even think and have a discussion and start to talk about, can we go against our parents? Well, you need to have that real shari, religious reason, Okay, now with that said, there are always exceptions to the rule. Yeah?
I just want to add on something. Oh, I don't know, I was laughing. No, I just want to add on the second point you mentioned was very, very important. And it's amazing because the thing is, your parents should be involved from the beginning. Not reach the stage where you know the person already. You know, as the brother mentioned, they helped you through hard times. You've, got ups and downs. You built that relationship with them where it's kind of like marriage, but just few parts, a bits missing here and there. And then you go to your family. And then when your family say no, you're left emotionally attached to the other person, but you can't move forward with them. And then you can't move forward in general because now you're going to have to go look for someone else. Why you go look for someone else? Your heart's always attached to that person. So you leave yourself in a very peak predicament. So that's why it's so important, especially for the sisters. Like you make the wali is so important because he'll just shut those time wasters down. Those that you'll get attached to and those that will long you out, and then in the end they won't even go through with it. And as for the brothers, that's why it's so important. Approach the family and whatnot, not just to go directly, but approach to her wali and whatnot. So there's a systematic process for you to follow, and if it's followed, inshallah, you'll be successful in it. But when you go off track, then these kind of problems occur, and then from that, it's just a big headache, as you could see, So follow the procedures, inshallah. And Saad, do you want to add anything to it?
Yeah, just like a side point, I was going to say, right? Although we're discussing the topic of, two people want to get married, but parents disagree due to cultural reasons or tribal reasons, whatever. But sometimes we have to realize, right, that even if our parents, they might reject a marriage to a certain individual, they do sometimes have very valid reasons. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes we tend to overlook that. It's not every single parent out there that's going to, jump out and be like, no, this person's white and this person's black and so you can't marry them and blah, blah, blah. Rather, sometimes they have very valid reasons. Like, for example, my dad, right? He always gave me the option. He said, you can marry whoever you want. But he used to say one thing to me which did stick to me for a long time. He said that, but I think it might be better for me to get married to somebody back from my culture. Why? Because when my dad passes away, at least my mother will have a companion that she can always, speak to and stick to. So it's more of a long-term kind of thing. It's going to be difficult for somebody who's, from a white background. They're going to have to, maybe learn Urdu because my mom can't speak English properly. And, the relationship won't be as strong. So they do sometimes have valid reasons. And I think, it's important for us to really take them into consideration as well. So that's really all I wanted to say, yeah.
So to conclude...
I didn't get to mention my point.
I knew you wanted to speak.
Yeah, exactly. But just wanted to add on to him, yeah. No, like his point is very true, yeah. Because like if we're even talking about compatibility, no doubt someone who's from the same culture you're gonna be more compatible with them. Even if you say, oh, but we're all raised in the UK, it doesn't matter. You're still raised with culture, right? But like I said, every case is judged by its own merits, yeah. But like I said, there's exceptions to the rule. I have to be real with you. I've been trying to talk about this exception topic here, but these brothers keep cutting me up because, No, but there's a valid reason why you keep cutting me up, though. No, obviously it's been edited out those times, isn't it? But the point is, the reason is because when you mention these exceptions, yeah, people take advantage of them. Just to let you know how serious it is that we're even thinking, shall we even tell this? Because people will lie, they take advantage of it, and they try to cheat the process. They take an exception, which is for specific cases, and they try to apply it to themselves when they don't have the authority to apply it to themselves. And, you may be able to trick everyone else, but you can't trick Allah. So I'm going to mention it, but in a very roundabout way. That's okay, yeah?
Go ahead.
Okay, now you're trying to act like the good Samaritan now. Yeah. Basically, there are some situations when you can, when you don't necessarily have to obey your parents when it comes to them telling you can't marry a particular person. But brothers and sisters, those are very specific situations and scenarios. And it may be that your situation is eligible for that. But you, nor do I, anyone here, have the ability to be able to do that for you. You have to go to a qualified Islamic judge. Not your regular imam, but a qadi, a judge, an Islamic judge who studied the Sharia, who will speak to you and will pass an official Islamic judgment and say, you know what, you are allowed. In fact, you might find that many of your situations are eligible, but the problem is you have to go through it the correct way. So all it takes is for you to go to Google, type in Sharia Council, UK Sharia Council, make sure that they're following the Kitab and Sunnah, not some bookie thing. Wherever you are in the world, just type in Sharia Council. If you're in the Muslim world, it's very easy for you to do that. Just go to your Qadi, your Islamic judge, and be open with him. And tell them the full story. Because they need to know the full story. They're not going to judge you. Then they're going to tell you, you know what, this situation, okay, the authority, the wilayah of the parent, of the dad moves. And sometimes the judge will take the authority himself and can say, I can marry you off. But it's very specific. A lot of factors need to be taken into place, and the judge will do that for you. So just look it up online. Sometimes you can call them on the phone. Sometimes you go meet them. Just Google it. I'll try and see if I find any links. I'll put them at the bottom, but I don't make no promises because I usually forget. Hopefully you can remind me or something. But is that okay? Did I explain it nice? Did I explain it nice? Like, well, like this guy is...
Didn't say anything. That was your point done, yeah? No, alhamdulillah. No, it's very important. It's true. So back to you now. Can you just wrap up first, inshallah?
Yeah. Okay. So, brothers and sisters, again, that's a very specific situation, innit? So don't go out there abusing that. Okay. Wallahi, it will come back to you on the day of judgment. It's specific situations, and like he said, you have to go through the correct process. Other than that, brothers, have anything else to say?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, Muslim Survival Guide. Basically, brothers and sisters, as we always mention at the end of all of our videos, we have an online program where you guys can study the absolute most basic elements of your religion. All of us want to learn more about our religion, right? But sometimes it's difficult. You don't know who to study from, where to study from. Your work schedule doesn't allow you. And our religion is to worship Allah is the very reason why we were created. So you've got to have at least some basic knowledge of that, right? I mean, the Prophet said anyone who dies and they know La ilaha illallah will enter into Jannah. He said, no, you have to have knowledge of it. How many of us can say that we really have knowledge? Like we're talking, the whole Quran is La ilaha illallah. Every ayah is in there. But you have to have at least the basics. That's why it's called Muslim Survival Guide. Because it helps you to just survive. So I would humbly urge you and request you, please, brothers and sisters, go to the link below and register for the MuslimSurvivalGuide.com, inshallah. And you find more information there about the program. Also, we have Brother Sa'ad here, aka Young Jimmy. And he also has a program called the Arabic Code Academy. ArabicCodeAcademy.com, which is basically an online program where you can study the Arabic language. And I'll let him explain to you a bit more about what it is himself. But I will say this, and I'm not just saying this because he's my brother, but like wallahi, out of all of the programs that I've seen in the West, especially those that are online, I haven't seen a single one that teaches Arabic grammar, Arabic language in this way. It's actually really phenomenal. Motion graphics and everything. It's really made simple. What is a subject that can be quite complicated has been made really simple and actually quite fun.
So, yes, brothers and sisters, so I have my online Arabic Academy called Arabic Code Academy. It's all about basically for those of you that, you want to have a relationship with the Quran. You want to be able to, understand the ayat of the Quran when you're in salah. You want to be able to understand the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. You want to understand your religion better. But the first thing that you need is you need the Arabic language. Without that, you're kind of hopeless. So, as part of the Arabic Code Academy, I teach my students how to understand the Quran, how to understand the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And as a side point, we also teach how to speak the language as well. So for those of you that you want to learn the Arabic language so you can understand the Quran better, understand the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, then again the link will be in the description below, www.arabiccodeacademy.com, inshallah.
Arabic code and Muslim survival guide.
Yeah.
Like the video, share the video. Like the video and share the video.
So انتهى الأمر. The video is over. Brothers and sisters, please go back to what you were doing, inshallah ta'ala. And
Well, if they were sinning, tell them go back to it.
Huh?
I'm joking.